Let me try and move this down. There we go. So we'll get into it when we get a couple people here. This is not the most comfortable I've been sitting here like this. Maybe. We got another participant in the live. Hey, bud, come here. Come here. So hi, buddy. Hey, buddy. I didn't really want to have to do this, but I've been trying to deal with YouTube on this, and they're just unresponsive at best. So 3 days ago, I want to say, and I was hoping maybe I could get YouTube to take action on this. 3 days ago, I got a copyright strike. Now, you guys know, come on, bud, you gotta move. You gotta move. You guys know that, like, I gotta move this table. Sorry if it's loud. Yeah, it won't be. You guys are I'm wearing my neck mic. So I put this up, and I know people are going to say, oh, it's because you did the Kickstarter thing on your birthday about Paulo Bolzano. Not it at all. Cops are going overhead, putting out an announcement. So a few days ago, I did that live feed, and it had already happened. I hadn't said anything about it. I put up a short a while back. You guys might remember it. It was a time lapse of a sunset here in San Diego. And it was a short. I did the time lapse. I used my new camera. I put it up. And in the shorts, how do I say? In the shorts setup, like when you upload a short, there's an option to add audio. And you can add music. And so I used, because it was sunset, I go through and I'm like, typed in sunset. I'm like, and I knew what song I was looking for because I've used it in a bunch of shorts, wherein lies the problem. So I used Sunset Grill by Don Henley. And so it's in the YouTube Shorts copyright-free audio library. And so I put it in, and I've done it on a bunch of different shorts. I've used that music on a lot of shorts. Well, I wake up the one morning and I've got a copyright strike. Not a copyright claim, not a, hey, you can remove this audio. YouTube took the video down in its entirety. I can't even go look at it to make sure. I know what music I used because I know what video it was. So they didn't give me like, hey, somebody's claiming your audio is not fair use, or they're claiming the revenue. No, didn't any of that. They took the video down. Now, this is what's troubling. YouTube provides that library of music to all content creators. All of them. All content creators have access to that shorts library. And you can throw any of that music in. Sometimes I'll tell you it could affect your ability to get ad revenue because you got to ad share with the people who own that music, but should not get any copyright strikes. So I reached out to YouTube. Through the chat option, and they were like, oh, well, you have to do this. So basically my only option is to contest it. Well, I don't know if you guys know this. A copyright claim, you can contest that, doesn't affect anything. You just say, hey, look, I have a license for this music, or this is what happened. And then they have like 30 days that they have to respond, and the revenue is held in limbo until it gets figured out. And either you get that revenue or the other party that claimed that content gets the revenue. That's not what happened. This video got struck. I have a copyright strike on my channel now that sits there for 90 days. And I've got several other shorts that I made in the shorts part of YouTube in their app, and I use that audio for. So I reach out to them. They don't tell me anything on chat because it's a bot. I know it is, and they're like, oh, well, you can do this. And I'm like, yeah, well, you can write up your bum. So I reached out to them on Twitter. And on Twitter, they're like, oh, well, send us a link to it. And they're like, oh, well, if you use the audio from the library, you should be fine. That's all copyright free. And I'm like, great. Are you going to take the strike off? And they're like, well, no. You got a strike. I'm like, you just said that the audio I used is available for use. I did it through the Shorts library. Oh yeah, Terrence, it's live. So through the Shorts library, all that music, now I'm like, well, can I not use this music? Do I have to worry about the fact that you're providing me music that's supposed to be copyright free, and now I have to worry about losing my fucking channel because you can't uphold your thing? So I reach out to them and they're like, well, you have to do this, and it's basically the same answer. I have to go through. The problem with doing it on a copyright claim versus a copyright strike, on a copyright strike, basically I have to like initiate legal action. So it's me saying like, hey, I think you're wrong. Here's all my stuff. Let's go ahead and have a legal battle. Well, the problem is, am I going to fight with the company that owns that music, that has a legal team? I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to worry about this. YouTube, you are providing that audio, and now you're putting content creators at risk because you're allowing people to claim the audio that you provide copyright free. So now here I am, sitting with multiple shorts that I've done out here in the yard at sunset that I used the audio from the YouTube's Shorts audio library, the same audio that got struck. So now I'm like, great. If I get 3 of those, they take my channel down. 9 years I've been doing this. Never once have I've gotten copyright claims because there was audio playing in the background. And a lot of times you can just remove that audio. Now, here I am with an actual strike because YouTube doesn't know how to run its fucking policies. Like, they don't protect the content creator. You provide me tools, I use those said tools, and now I have a copyright strike. And they're not willing to go out and then take care of it for you. They're like, well, no, you have to do this. I'm like, why do I have to do a fucking thing? Your system's broken. It's not my fault that you provided me audio that then got claimed. Right? How do you even fight that? So here we are, sitting here waiting for the other shoe to drop because, like I said, I've used that same audio from Shorts multiple times in other shorts. And all I did was click the spot where it says, do you want to add sound? And go through and pick that audio. Oh, it's Sunset Grill, Don Henley. It's a great song. It's a great song for a short, especially if you're looking at a knife in the sunset. But they don't back you up. They provide you this copyright-free audio, and I use it, and I get a copyright strike. Not even a claim, a strike. It's fucking bullshit. So here I am. I'm frustrated. I filmed a bunch of shit today. It is literally over 100 degrees in the studio right now. No. So, Titanium Justin, when you do a short, you can add audio from YouTube's free audio library. And you click on it, you search, you find your music, you add it. If that's what you want, you add it in. It's supposed to be copyright free, but I got a copyright strike. I don't know. I don't know if others have been hit. So I put my reading glasses on for this. Sorry, guys. It makes me look 50 when I put these on. You guys believe I'm 50? I don't. So Justin says, are they saying your content doesn't align with the audio owner? No, it's saying that the audio owner claimed and struck it and had the entire video taken down. Let's see here. Happens to you all the time. Copyright claim or copyright strike? Copyright claims, I don't give a fuck about a copyright claim. I don't care. I'm just like, yeah, I have a license for that audio. Because 99% of the time I'm using licensed audio that I found a website that provides you with free audio, free music downloads, and the written license. This is a strike. I got an actual, no joke, strike. It's sitting there. And like I said, I've used that same audio from the Shorts library multiple times. But YouTube doesn't want to have anything to do with it. They don't have anything to do with taking care of their part. You provided me this audio, now I have a strike, which is technically a legal action against my channel. And it's fucking YouTube's fault, and they won't address it. I would ask that you guys go and follow me on Twitter and start hitting YouTube up and commenting about like, what's up with this shit? Just as many of as you can. Just go hit them up on Twitter and see if we can't get it taken care of. Because for me to go to the next step, I would have to have legal counsel. And I don't, and I can't afford it, especially considering I just got laid off. So, yeah, it's frustrating. Guys, I wanted to show you something that came. You're gonna get, this is kind of a preview for a video I shot. It is so hot. I started filming early this morning. It is 12:40 right now. It is 80 degrees here in this room. It is over 100, and you guys, I'll prove it. I had all on, and hopefully we don't have, tell me if the audio kicks off as quickly as you can. I want to test something. I think I figured out what was wrong. I had a bad power cord that was screwing with power transfer, and it kicked the microphone portion of the feed off. So it's, whew, God, just walking out, it's hot. It is currently in the studio with the sun hitting the back wall and having had it closed up. I've had this closed up since 6 o'clock this morning with all the lights on, all the studio lights on, everything running. It's 111 degrees in my studio. It's 80 degrees in here. I sweat through several shirts. So, well, I sweat through this shirt several times. Well, it's 80, it's more than 80 degrees here in the living room, which I'm fine with. My wife got new plants. I had to hang planter hangers on my day off. I mean, I'm sweating, don't get me wrong. Bladed Ginger says, how are you not? It just kicked off. Damn it. Well, we just won't move it anymore. How's the audio now? So it's, you can hear. So the audio, did it fix the audio? I just can't, I guess I just can't move these cords and move it around. Audio was fine, it's good now. Good, okay. I don't know, because I'm using I don't have my headphones. So I can't like monitor the audio. So yeah, it was miserable out there. I'm not gonna lie. I had a fan blowing on me, like in between segments, and I definitely drank a lot of water. Remember, Papa didn't raise no commie. Proudershop.com. You're currently busy thinking about boogers. I have allergies. I think about boogers all the time. I wanted to show you something cool that showed up. This is a little preview. I filmed the first impressions of this morning. I'd never heard of this company. This is a great little knife. Well, it's not little. This is a great knife that came in. Great little knife that came in from Winston Cobretti. This is the Iron Fly Knives YOLO. And I forgot how much I like a good cleaver. I mean, a cleaver is just basically a modified Wharncliffe. It's a broad Wharncliffe. This is a really, really good one. It's a button lock G10. Button lock G10 on this. 14C28N brought down. Now, I do have to say, you guys are going to laugh about this. So this showed up on my birthday with a couple of shirts, including this one, Drink Coffee, Stack Bodies. Drink coffee, guys. Check out Coffee Brand Coffee. Money back guarantee. My link down below will save you 10% on some of the best coffee you're going to get. So it showed up, 14C28N. I wanted to do some stuff with it. I was like, wow, that's got a really good factory edge. When you guys are watching me at the workbench and I'm filming the videos, that rubber mat that's down, underneath that is a glass plate, like a glass platform, so that everything sits nice and it's even and stuff doesn't stick, and I can do multiple things out there. I use it for sharpening, so I'm not getting water all over the workbench. I dropped this, bang, right on the glass. No, it's a flat grind. So Titanium Justin asked if it is a hollow grind. It's a flat grind, but it's a nice broad flat grind, which means it comes down nice and thin behind the edge. But it's a good button lock. Pretty snappy action on it. I just filmed the first impressions video on it, but I had to sharpen it because I dropped it right on the edge, right on the corner of that glass plate. And there was a spot like right here where the edge was just completely flat. And I'm like, so I had to sharpen this. Typically, I don't like to sharpen a brand new knife. I had to sharpen this before I could even use it. Like I literally had it like 15 minutes. So not a flat grind, or not a hollow grind, flat grind. Terrence Funderburg says, kind of like the Artisan. It does look a little bit like that Artisan. It looks more like, somebody already said it, little butcher, little pocket butcher. The blade shape is very reminiscent of the ADV tack butcher. Really similar in blade shape. I dig it a lot. I forgot how much I like a good cleaver style blade. Has anybody else got crackly audio? It kind of looks like the EMP. It kind of does. Little crackly. That's weird, guys. I don't know why I'm having problems with audio. It's only when I do live feeds. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me try and fix it. Okay, how's it sound now? Where are we at on that audio? So, Michael R. Is this the Michael R. that sent me the Cold Steel R1? I believe it's that Michael R. If it is, thank you very much. It has been a constant carry. It went to scab over at Choir Boy's Cutlery. Still crackly. All right, this is really going to irritate me. I spent way too much. I got a fan running full blast that you might be hearing. Only crackly when I talk. This is frustrating. This is very, very frustrating. Give me a second. I'm gonna try and shut everything off. We should have some audio. It's going to be shitty, I do know, because it's I'm trying this is going to be suboptimal for a minute. I don't like the mic. There's something wrong with the microphone on my phone anyway. I'm going to set everything back up. We're going to start over. I'm going to see here if we can turn it down to 12. We'll plug this in, turn this on. We should have audio back up in a minute. So I know it's not typically that hot in San Diego. It's only like 80 something degrees. Did that fix the audio? Did that fix it? Where it's crackly. Is that better? I turned the gain down a little bit. So that's better. Okay. At any rate, it was so hot because the sun this time of day just pounds on that corner all the way up until, well, I got about another hour of the sun just pound, about 2, until about 2 in the afternoon. The sun just pounds on that corner of the garage, and it'll go from 70 degrees in the morning to over 100 real quick, especially fan off, lights on, all the lights on, stuff running. It gets hot. All my electrical, all my stuff, my monitor, because I monitor now all the stuff that I'm doing so I can see it real time. I've got a HDMI output that goes directly, so I've got the big monitor is on so I can see what I'm doing when I'm facing the camera, all that stuff. Everything's running. It's hot out there. So it's crazy. It's 80 degrees here. The humidity is kind of bad. So, but somebody asked, did I get the Yojumbo in S90V or M4? I don't have a Yojumbo. I don't have it, but if I was gonna get it, I would have to say as much as I like S90V, I dig the M4. I dig the M4 steel. I had a Gale Bradley in M4 steel that came in, I sharpened it, and it was great. It's a great, great knife. Gale Bradley from Spyderco, amazing. But Spyderco does a really good job with their heat treats these days. Have I looked at the Buck 112 Slim? I have not, but the Buck 119 is one of my favorite knives. So, I'm sorry, the Buck 110. So Rickert is here. I guess we can start the party now. Rickert's here. So yeah, but I didn't bring a lot of knives for us to look at, but I did bring 2 pairs of reading glasses. I don't know why I have 2 pairs of reading glasses here, but so I don't have the Yojumbo, but I do have the knife that I have that I would carry, that I think if I had a Yojumbo, I would carry it for this knife. Jesus, words are difficult. Words are hard, guys. This is the knife that I carry, the little fixed blade, as opposed to Yojumbo or Yojimbo. I carry this. This is a great, great knife. You can find one of these. Absolutely look one up. This is the Acheron L'Ascension, designed by Bastinelli Knives. It's done by Viper Knives in France. This thing is absolutely great. I don't have a Buck 110. I have not had a Buck 110 in a lot of years, Elijah. I love it. I had a Buck 119 is it Buck 119 that's the Ranger, or is that the Buck 112? At any rate, Buck 110 is what you carry in the Navy, like as a pocket knife, a belt knife, a lot of times. So, but yeah, this is why I don't have a Yojimbo, is because this I find to be better without some of the downsides. Like the Yojimbo is a little thin and fragile. This is not. Nice curvature on this. Great jimping the full length of the blade. Really, really good locked in on this. So this one is the Acheron Knives L'Ascension. It's Acheron Knives in France, designed by a Frenchman in Florida, done by Viper Knives in Italy. And yeah, it is a great little knife. And if you put hey, Scabs here. What's up, bro? If you put this on, it's a great little pocket carry knife. This thing is great. This thing is great. Micarta on it. It gets carried enough that the micarta is like shiny oily. Shiny oily. But yeah, it's great. It locks in. Yes, you do have Florida. You do have a Frenchman in Florida there, homie. His name's Bastien from Bastinelli Knives. He doesn't act like a Frenchman. He acts more like an Italian. So, go support Steven Crowder. Go to crowdershop.com. Okay, so Sean's Adventure, does Spyderco do a good job on the 8CR budget knife? Never had. I don't know that Spyderco makes a 8CR. I really don't know. The Ulti clip is a great, great thing. It turns this into a pocket clip. You can use this on a bunch of stuff. I have 2 of these. I use them on a lot of stuff. Ulti clip's a great, great option for carrying a fixed blade, especially if it's got the lanyard or the holes that line up for you, the lashing holes. The Tenacious and their bird line. I don't know. I don't like the Tenacious, and I've never owned anything off their bird line. However, Spyderco's heat treats for production heat treats, about the best you're going to find. For full-on production, it's about the best you're going to find. Can you see how much this knife gets used? Can you see, like, okay, this knife gets used all the time. There's some shine and weirdness and track marks. And you see them there? This knife's been getting used a lot. A lot. Still got the factory edge. Still got the factory edge, and you could lather up and shave with this. So you want to question Spyderco's, a lot of things that Spyderco does, I've questioned it over the years, but their heat treat is not fucking one of them. Their heat treat is on point. So their heat treat on their S90V, I have one knife that I've ever had bad heat treat on it, and they don't use that steel anymore, and that is ZDP 189, and they stopped making knives in that steel. Yeah, Rickard, thanks, buddy. Please hit the like button. Just double tap the screen. That should do it. But I had something, so I told you I got this for my birthday. So same guy sent me this shirt, sent me this, sent me some other stuff. I got one of the, you know, the Goonies coin that they hold up. I got one of those. It's really, really cool. But he also loaned me something for my birthday that is as good as any gift that he gave me. And it's this. He loaned me the sheath for his Taipan until Harry Savage makes mine. So mine is out to be, is in the process of being made. Sheath for my knife. It's more of a drop down, so I have the flap and then further down so that you don't have this digging into your side. But it's not horrible on this, but it's allowing me to carry my favorite cold steel knife. God, I'm in love with this. Wow. Rickard just gave 5 gift memberships to y'all. Thank you very much, sir. So now if you weren't a paying member, you are now. And if you want to stay a paying member, you can. This thing is everything I ever wanted and never needed. It is everything I ever wanted in a knife and have never needed is this. It is incredible. Rickard, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. So you guys know, just so you guys know, you need to start checking in on the members only section of my channel now, because I am planning on doing a bigger giveaway. So I need to do that, film it, and I'm gonna do that maybe tomorrow. I've got like 5 items I'm giving away. It's members only drawing. It's not gonna be a video you're gonna see unless you're a member, and it's gonna be separate from everything else. But yeah, and Malcolm, thank you very much for AC Brotherhoods. I really don't like AC. Up until it got to like 110, I was fine. So I knew it was gonna get hot. I filmed the intros, not to ruin the magic of how YouTube works. There's a lot of times the intros get filmed hours before the body of the video because it's just easier to set up for the green screen early in the morning and things like that. Hold my beer, what happened with my wrench, Mike? I don't know. Did you change your login? So at any rate, I've wanted one of these since I was in high school. No one needs a dagger. No one needs a dagger. But everybody wants one. That's a cool thing about daggers, but this is the quintessential cold steel knife. When I think of cold steel knives, I think of 2 things. I think of the Recon Tonto, and I think of this. George, do I own any kukri knives? I used to have a kukri. I don't anymore. I don't have a need for it. I have other knives that are similar. Let me grab one. Don't go anywhere, but let me go grab one. I have something now that came in that's kind of similar. I'm gonna tell you, I've for years have called them this style knife, like the Japanese kukri. Let me go grab it. Just take me a second. I'm not going real far. I'm just going out to the studio where it's really hot, but I don't want to take you guys with me. I don't want to take you guys out there with me because every time I seem to be moving this equipment, we lose audio. So this is kind of similar, and what gives you the similarity is the handle angle. So you've got this handle. This is a Japanese style outdoor knife. Is it a Nada? It's really similar. It's got that heavy curvature to it, but you don't have the actual curved blade. So you get some of the benefits of it, but you get more of a standard traditional traditional blade on it. Elijah, I'm not gonna go get it. My favorite knife is out in the studio, and we're having problems where every time I move you guys, the audio cuts out. So I don't wanna mess with it for this live feed. But catch me next time, I'll make sure that I bring it. But it is my, I have 2 knives that are quality. I mean, I did this once before. We went through a bunch of stuff. But this is gonna be going over to Scott over at Choir Boys Cutlery before too long, because I'm not gonna have, I'm having problems with my shoulder and arm right now, and I'm not going to be able to do the testing I want to do right now. So I gotta let this heal up a little bit, and I'm having some real problems. I'm probably gonna need another surgery. So just one of those things that's probably gonna happen. It's already causing me like pain constantly. Just doing this is painful. So how much was this knife? I didn't buy this knife. This was sent to me by the company to test, and I'm really impressed with it. I think these are 200 and something, but if you go to KATSU Knives, KATSU, and use coupon code crazysharp, whatever it costs, you can save 10% on it. So, Chicago 23, can you make a sea snake in MagnaCut? Can I personally? No, because I can't stand in front of a grinder. And 2, I don't have control over that. That is licensed through them, and they're doing it in ARRPM 9. I don't think that Artisan and CJRB are doing anything in MagnaCut right now that I know of. So really can't tell you yes on that. So, and the other thing is I'm not a fan of MagnaCut. It's not that it's not a good steel. I've said it a bunch of times. It's an incredible steel when you look at the science of it and things like that. Bob Terzuola loves it. I'm not a fan of it because it's one of those ones that has a very, very fine grain structure. And when you take it up into the, as I like to call them, the prettier grit levels, it does not have the aggressiveness that I want because the carbides are smaller, even though they're more evenly distributed and everything. They are smaller and not as irregular, and they don't have the bite that you get from, say, something like 14C28N that you can take up to a higher grit and still have the aggressiveness of the carbides. There's only a few steels really that I dig that can do that. D2 is one of them. M390 has got some weird irregular carbides in it that hold up at a higher grit. 14C28N, DC53 steel, which is an unusual one, but it's great for that. And Crewwear. Crewwear actually does that as well. And I have 2 knives in Crewwear, and they're just amazing. I have an Alex Steingraber Lamia in Crewwear that he gave me, and I have this one here in Crewwear. And like I said, still the factory edge. Still the factory edge. You hand forge knives, I never got into hand forging knives. I made knives, but I did stock removal solely. I did all my stuff in plate cooled steels 20CV, S125V, which is just a nightmare to work with. As apparently the more Vs, the more better, but the harder it's gonna be to work with. I actually have a couple knives that I did in S125V that were well above 67 Rockwell, because you can score glass. You can score glass with the spine of those knives. K390, I've only ever had one knife come in K390 before the one that Jared just sent me, but the problem is I have to send the one back that Jared sent me because it's his prototype and it needs to get back out. So I did a quick video on that. It's his knife that he called the Misdemeanor. It's in K390, and I really am not sure about it. I haven't looked anything up. I'm gonna do a little bit more cutting with Jared's knife before I send it back to him. So it's so far what I've seen, I think I may have sharpened one in K390. I don't know. I've never really done much with K390. I've done a lot with a lot of different steels. Most of what I've done is sharpening and not used. I like what is it, M395 that is in the, is that what it is? I can't remember. M390, M395. At any rate, Scott's over at Choir Boys Cutlery sent me some knives it sent me a knife in that, I can't remember. Do I like, how do you feel about N690? N690. This is N690 CO, which is N690 with cobalt added, but I've got several knives in N690. They are great. I also have one in, what was it called? It's a variant. It's a type of N690. It's renaming. I can't remember what it is. Lion Steel uses it. It's, I can't think of it. This is N690 Cobalt, N690 CO. It's better than N690, and N690 on its own is pretty not bad. Which one sharpens easier? I think, if I remember right, Crewwear and K390 were kind of similar for sharpening. The MagnaCut I have tried did very well with a polished edge, stayed aggressive as long as it's heat treated well. Seems very difficult to heat treat though. It's not that it's difficult to heat treat. It's that people, Nylox, there you go. Thank you, Rickert. That's it, Nylox. So Nylox is a it's an analog. So typically I tell you guys, we're gonna get on steel for a second. I tell you guys that steels are pretty much, they're different. Like every steel's different. They're like, oh, well, this is the equivalent to, what's the equivalent? Unless they are like analogs of each other, there is no equivalent. So like trying to compare like D2 and 9CR, completely different animals. But then you have, every once in a while, you have some that are very, very similar to the point where there's almost no perceptible difference. And that would, the big one that comes to mind is M390, 204P, and 20CV. They are interchangeable. They are pretty much the same. N690 is just harder to, M390 is harder to get because it's used in the plastics cutting industry, and so Böhler Udelholm is really putting those, the customers are going to buy the most bulk ahead of the knife making industry. So Aiden Miguel, Rex 121 or S125V? S125V is fine. Rex 121 is basically MagnaCut. So it's not, I don't like Rex 121 MagnaCut. They are analogs for each other. Chicago 23, what about S45VN? I like it, it's a good steel. I got a couple knives in S45VN. It's definitely better in S35. What is this? Headbangers Bow, what's up, Sergeant Rock? Hey, I'm late to the party. What's going on with your channel? Why would YouTube come after a friggin' knife show? It's not that. So what happened was, I'll send you a text, but the big thing was I did a short. I used audio from the shorts library. The apparently owner of that audio copyright struck it, not claimed it, but struck it, took it down. Now I have a copyright strike. So it's no me gusto. I don't like it. Bladed Ginger, what do you think about VG10? VG10 is one of the all-time great steels. It will have a tendency to patina up a little bit. If you're cutting like meats and stuff, you can always just wipe it off real good with something that's got a little bit of vinegar or something in it. You can clean that off. I mean, VG10 San Mai, the core on this, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but there's a line, the length of this blade, where you have two different steels, where it's jacketed in. You can really see it clearly there. Can you see that centerpiece? This is VG10 San Mai. So I dig VG10. VG10 is what most of my Spydercos until recently were in, was VG10 steel. It's a great, great steel. Awesome for kitchen knives. It takes a beautiful edge. It's easy to sharpen. It holds it. Do I actually EDC this? Sometimes at night when there's no cops around and I'm taking the dog for a walk. This is my late night in a neighborhood where we have, bro, I'm not gonna Counter-Strike the actual company that owns the audio. It's, I forget what, it's a big company. Not even gonna try it. Just gonna ignore it. I do carry this. I do EDC this. It's not as functional as some of my other knives that I have, the big knives that I EDC, like the military R1. The R1 Military Classic, much more functional to carry. It's also in Sanmai. I should go get that since we're talking about. I'll go get it. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm coming right back. It'll just take me a second. I know exactly where it's at. I don't even have to look. So it's this is much more, get out of the way, dog. This is much more functional in use, but this, I mean, like, this just looks awesome, right? And so it's, I just can't wait to get the actual sheath for it. So what I typically will carry on a long walk with the dog at night in the neighborhood, and my neighbors know I carry it, it's this. This is something much more functional. This is the R1 Military Classic by Cold Steel, and I do EDC this, and I do carry this on walks. I have sharpened the shit out of it, and it is very, very sharp, and it's also in Sanmai. I'm trying to get, there you go. Can you see that line? This thing's been put through some paces, Michael R. I sent this off to Scab over at Choir Boys Cutlery. He put it through its paces. I carry this almost daily. Well, I did before I got the sheath that I can carry the taipan in. And that's only just because it's a new thing, and I'm gonna carry it. Paper test? You want a paper test on it? Hang on. I don't think I got anything that's really fine, but newspaper usually works good. But let's see if it'll do this. This is the, apparently this, according to the knife heads out there, this is the end-all be-all test for a knife. And it's paper towels. So yeah, paper towel, apparently that's the test. I usually use newspaper. Use newspaper, but the other thing I was gonna say is this is the style sheath I ordered. I have not carried this taipan. I have not carried it in the SecureX sheath that came with it, with this one. So this is a leather sheath. Now I ordered a leather sheath really similar to this for the taipan. It's gonna be a drop-down style. It's got the stone pouch. I have the stone for it and everything because nothing looks cooler than a good drop-down leather sheath. And for some reason, just adding the pouch, the guy asked me, he's like, do you want the stone pouch? I'm like, of course. Like, nothing looks as cool as a tactical knife with a stone pouch. It just it has to go back to the Rambo days growing up, but I'll tell you, some people have asked about the M390 MK that's in the new Microtex. Guys, people have complained, they're like, oh, it's just M390 but softer. I've been using this a lot, and I'm gonna tell you, it is incredible for how it cuts and how it takes an edge. And I'm doing this with the fan on, so the wind's blowing it, but this is a very aggressive, very sharp knife. That's a paper towel. This is, can I show my favorite buck knife? It's a buck 119 special, and I don't have it here. So I only brought a few knives out. I really, the whole first part of it was, I just needed to get that off my chest about the copyright strike. So we're just gonna look at the knives we got here, but we can talk about other stuff. I like my Cold Steel Recon 1. Yeah, and this is an 8,000 grit edge. So that's 8,000 grit edge, and it's still that aggressive. So, it is insane, and it is frightening to even touch it. and I've used it a lot. This is always in my pocket. This is my day-to-day carry. This is, if I had to say a knife that's going to be in my pocket every day, it's probably going to be this one or this one, and I've used them both. They both are still great. This one still has a factory edge on it, and like I said, you can see all the lines on this where it's being used, and all I've had to do is just strop this up. Hey man, Crowder missed this today. A dude, I'll have to hit that up later. This gets used all the time. And I just absolutely love this. I love carrying it. I love the way it feels in pocket. I'm really glad I bought one before I got laid off, because I would definitely be upset with myself if I had not gotten this knife. So needs a destruction test on that Microtech. No, it doesn't. This is great. They've modified they've changed some things in the lockup, but the guys that were doing that super hard spine whack on these is just, that's not how you test a knife. How much does this go for? I think I paid $302 for these. They were on sale. I think they're $310 or $312 right now. I have a link to Blade HQ down below, just Microtech Amphibian. If you guys are going to buy knives, please use my affiliate links down below. It doesn't cost you anything extra. As a matter of fact, I have a coupon code that works a lot of places. Just type in crazysharp, all one word, see if it works. I can't remember all of them, but I do know that the big ones are Rosecraft Blades, Fair & Forge Knife Works, and KATSU Knives. KATSU Knives, 10% off. If you use that coupon code, you can pick up any of their stuff. Oh, I got a message that was held for review. Let's see here. Is this the channel where everyone gets a boner and talks about knives? Just wanted to make sure I was in the right place. Yeah, sure. I'm not wearing pants. I'm not even wearing pants there, rabbit hole. Yeah, awesome, awesome knife. It's ambidextrous, probably one of the best carry. It is a little heavy. I got an aluminum instead of a composite, but yeah, these are great. So, yeah, lots of stuff going on. I'm not wearing pants either. Well, I'm wearing pants, but I might not be wearing underpants, or I might be wearing weird underpants. I just got my first Spartan Harsey. The Spartan Harsey is so good. Spartan Harsey is great. What was this? Elijah, can you recommend a budget EDC knife? I gotta say, there's a bunch of them out there. So depending on what you're looking for, there's a lot available in the budget realm. Check out stuff. Artisan CRB, I have a link to them down below. They've got a lot of really good stuff. Who else? Vosteed Knives, got a link to Vosteed Knives down below. All their stuff is great. There's a lot of companies out there that are really good on the budget front. This Ironfly seems to be good. I think these are like 70 bucks, 60, 70 bucks. So there's a lot out there. Cold Steel has some good ones. There you go, Bladed Ginger, QSP, Beyond EDC, Sencut, Civivi. Civivi's gotten a little bit pricier. So in case you guys don't know, We Knife Company owns We Knife Company owns Civivi and Sencut. So they're basically, you have We Knife Company, which is expensive. Then you go down the line to Civivi and then Sencut. Sencut being the cheapest, but they're all great. I got the Buck 811 Trace, great knife. I've heard it's good. Off Grid Knives is good. Kaiser, Bestech, Cold Steel, so many great budget variants. Yeah, and Cold Steel's not 100% budget. Like this, I didn't buy this knife, by the way. Did I tell you guys the story behind this? I've always wanted one of these. Really good friend of mine, he's a Marine. He was in the Navy, then got out of the Navy, then joined the Marines. And so he'd been out for a while, but what he was doing was, guys in his unit, he'd be like, hey, I can get that knife for you, and he would get it for him, and then he would pay for every knife that he would buy for somebody in his unit. He'd like knock $5 off the price, so I can get it for you for like a discount. He'd knock $5, $10 off and pay that out of his pocket, and he'd get the points. And then he'd have tons and tons of points, And he literally had thousands of dollars worth of points. And he's like, look, man, I'm done with knives. He's like, I'm not buying anything. He's like, there's nothing new coming out I want. He goes, if you want to use any of my points, go for it. And I saw Cold Steel, or I'm sorry, Blade HQ had these. Blade HQ had these for 200 for 199, which I believe was $40 off. And I used his points to get it. So I didn't buy this. So I was out nothing really on this. I did order the sheath, which was 70 bucks. Right? And if it's as good as it looks on the guy's website, I'm gonna be happy. Ginger Fisherman, Miguron Knives. Yeah, Miguron Knives is a very good budget brand, as is, like I said, Vosti, QSP, Civivi and Sencut, and We Knife Company is not as cheap as it used to be. Remet is really, really budget on a lot of their stuff, and it's you know, still really, really well made. CGRB, Artisan, Kaiser. Yeah, there's a lot. There's some good ones. Yeah. Oh, Rosecraft. There you go. Rosecraft. I don't know why. Rosecraft blades. Rosecraft blades. I have like I said, crazy coupon code crazysharp saves you 10% at Rosecraft blades. And I just completely left them off. They make some of the best slip joints out there. Give me a minute, I'll go grab it. I'll go grab a couple. And for the guy that was asking to see my favorite knife, since I'm going to go grab a couple knives, I'll grab it while I'm out there. My favorite knife of all time. Like, not the most important knife, because that's a knife my dad gave me when I was like 5 or 6. So give me a second. I'm gonna go grab a couple and I'll show you what I'm talking about. A couple budget knives for y'all that asked. So, okay. I am returning. I grabbed my other phone too, because I think, yep, my wife has been texting me. I have 214 text messages. Whew, I'm back. Do I have? No, I don't have any of my own design here. Right now, my Stonefish, the original, the We Knife Company Stonefish, is out on loan to a guy that wanted to take it with him to see if he wanted to buy one. One of the guys that I know that has one of the customs is selling it. He wanted to see if it's what he wanted, so he's taking the production version. Did I race midgets? No. But I'm friends with a lot of the guys that run USAC CRA. So that's USAC CRA Wingless Sprints. That's Ricky Gaunt. That's a signed Ricky Gaunt Oval Nationals champion picture that's up there. I know it's off topic, but showing that. When he says race midgets, I didn't like have a bunch of like really little people, and I'd have them chase a rabbit around a track. Nothing like that. He's talking about that. So, so yeah, QSP. QSP is a great company. This is the QSP Kestrel. This is under $100. This is probably one of the best knives you're going to get at that price. Micarta 14C20. Sorry, I ate a roast beef sandwich right before this, and now it's coming back on me. I got really bad indigestion. This is a great knife. Nice little clip point. It's got a really aggressive look to it. It's easy to carry, even though it's a 3-finger. I got really big hands. 3-finger knife. It's a smaller knife. Great carry option. So QSP knives are great. Hang on a second. My daughter is texting me. We got to do a waiver for her college law, healthcare. So QSP, since you guys were asking, we're gonna look at that right now. QSP is great. We got QSP And then remember we were talking about Kaiser. Kaiser makes some great budget knives. This is one of the best button locks out there. CGRB and Artisan, I don't have one of those. I didn't have one of their knives just laying around. QSP and CGRB and Artisan also do great budget locks. This is the Beg Lighter XL button lock. This is a great knife, 9.5, I want to say 9.5, 9.25 inches overall on this. Just an incredible knife, super functional. This one doesn't suffer from, like, when you start getting knives that are 8.5 inches and more, they have a tendency to feel kind of like they're too far out from the pivot. This doesn't. It feels really well balanced. My God, does it get sharp. So Kaiser makes some really good knives. And then, like I said, Rosecraft makes some great knives, and they're always striking. They do a lot of this red and black G10 like this, where it's a two-piece thing. Just insanely good. This is the Yoka. This is in a video that I did that was pretty popular. Well, pretty popular by my channel standards anyway. One of the 5 really good options to the CEO. I do not like CRKT, Aiden. I'm not even going to read that. This is absolutely really good gentleman's folder. Nice and slim, but they did a good job of getting it down. Rosecraft really nails it on their flippers, but where they are just killing it is their beautifully done slip joints like this one. This is the Clinch River swayback. Now mine is filthy because it gets used all the time, but this, absolutely a gorgeous knife. It won Import Knife of the Year 2 years ago at Blade Show in Atlanta. Super comfortable, nice slip joint, no pocket clip. I have a pocket slip that this rides in, but it also has a lanyard on it. So you guys can see the lanyard. It's got a lanyard on it so that I could put it in my pocket and hang this out and pull it out if I want, just so that you guys, just so you know how it works. Just because. So yeah, there's some companies right there that are good. Now, if you want, the problem with budget knife companies is there's still budget knives, and you're going to run into little cost saving things that they did, cutting around corners and stuff like that you're not going to see on some of the higher end companies' knives. Like I very rarely you're going to find a problem with this. Oh, there you are. I was waiting. I told you I'd go get it. My favorite knife, a knife that I saved for 5 years to get, and I don't want anybody to, 'cause there's some people that have never heard anybody talk about a knife in these terms. They're going to shit themselves when they hear it. This is my Grimsmo Knives Norseman, and I paid $1,000 for this knife. And this is my favorite knife. Insane. I did the ano on this, two-tone ano on the pocket clip between the markings there, two-tone ano on here, so you've got the purple and then the light blue. It is insane. I was a knife maker. I know how to do stuff like this. But when you get, oh my God, I haven't carried this in a while. I have to hide this for myself, because then I'll carry it and I won't have room. I'll put my 2 favorite knives in my pocket, which right now is this and this. This actually has run this out of my pocket a little bit. I will carry these and nothing else. These are just a little over $1,000. I paid $900 plus tax, plus shipping used. I paid about $975. It was about $1,100 after tax and shipping and insurance. So let me turn this around so you guys can see it a little bit better. Here you go. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I did a really fancy, time-consuming anodizing setup on this, where I did 2 different voltage on this, but it's great. And the fact is, I saved for 5 years. Riat? No, it's not Riat. This is, no. I saved for like 5 years to be able to get one of these. And then I went on the search for the exact one I wanted. I wanted one that was in a specific range. because if I'm gonna spend the better part of you know, half a month's rent on something, I want to get exactly what I wanted. I wanted the reverse honeycomb. I wanted one without a steel lock bar insert because they sound different and they feel a little bit different. I wanted this exact like range, but I also wanted the one with the double stop pins in it. So you have an open pin and a closed pin in this. And it's, yeah, what are you guys talking about Riat? Oh, Riat XO. I'm sorry, I just scrolled up. Sorry, I see it now. I gotcha. The reason for a double stop pin is this knife will never develop blade play that I can't take care of here at the house. On all the other knives that you're seeing here, they have a stop pin in them. And the stop pin's right there. And what happens is, as your knife opens up, you're slamming into that stop pin, you're gonna get some deformation. And what'll happen is you get a little bit of deformation and then you have to adjust. Now you can't put in a larger stop pin, but then that also changes the closed position. So if you have an open pin and a closed pin, what happens is that closed position never changes, only the open position, so you don't ever have to account for any of that. So I have a belt grinder. I have my knife grinder out in the yard. I could still make knives. It's just my shoulder and arm and the nerve damage all the way down that nerve trunk is just bad enough. I can't do it anymore. Is it sharp? They're all sharp, my friend, all of them. The channel's called Crazy Sharp for a reason. Knife maker and professional knife sharpener. This is probably one of the sharpest knives I own. It's ridiculous. Can we cut meat with it? No, not right now. So I'm dehydrated. I was out in that studio. It's like I said, it's 100. It was 111 when we went out there just a little bit ago. This is a bit warm. I have leaked out a lot of my important fluids. So yes, I allow you to drink, sir. Thanks, appreciate it. I don't know if you know this isn't one of those feeds where you guys have control over it. Have you any experience with deep hollow grinds? I made a knife for my buddy that was a full hollow. It was a deep hollow from spine all the way down. And I don't own any of the knives I made, Elijah. That's the thing about being a knife maker. You have to sell everything you make. You can't keep anything. I am gonna work on making a knife for myself. I figure I'm 50, I don't own any of the knives. I don't own any of the knives that I ever made. I'm gonna make one for myself. I just haven't gotten around to actually doing it. So I don't have any of the knives I ever made, but I did design the Stonefish for We Knife Company, which is a combat utility knife. And I also designed this Sea Snake for Artisan and CGRB. I also have a knife coming soon called the Habu, which is a folding knife that I designed for KATSU Knives. So they're gonna be doing that. Which watch is this in your hand? That's the Apple Watch. What is this? The Series 6, 7? Series 7 Apple Watch. Comes in handy. I use it a lot when I'm doing stuff on my YouTube channel. I can use it as a remote. I can use the zoom in, zoom out on the camera. I can use it as a monitor and things like that. Rickert says, do you want to help me out with a little something special? Nothing sexual. Nothing sexual. Well, maybe a little. No, nothing sexual. So guys, I'm really surprised at how much well, I'm not surprised how much I like it. I'm really surprised how good this is. I'd never heard of this brand. And then I look it up and apparently Metal Complex has done a video about this exact knife. Never even heard of it. Do I like guns? Yeah, but we don't talk about those here because YouTube doesn't like it. This is This is a really, really good knife. I'm fairly impressed with it so far, first day. Let's see. There's 70 people here, 26 likes. Guys, if you have not, please just drop a like on the video here. All you gotta do is double tap the screen. So, it's made by the Kunwu, right? Same people. I don't know. Here's the thing. So that you guys know, when knives come in, when a knife comes in, it basically goes into a blind review process. And so I don't, sorry, my daughter called. I tried to tell her that I couldn't talk. Can you guys hear me? I should be back now. I tried to explain to her. I couldn't get her off the phone. Hang on. I gotta call her back from my other phone. There we go. I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that. When the phone rings, it cuts it off. I gotta see what she wants. You guys will get to hear this. So yeah, it's okay. I'm back. I had to grab my other phone. I wasn't trying to cut you off. You're talking with. Yeah, just the dill pickles, and then if you want to get.
I have like my own stuff, but I don't know if I have enough cash.
Just use a card. That's what it's for. Okay.
Because it's gonna end up being like $40, but.
I will put the money back in your account.
Are you sure?
Yes. Just. That's okay. All right.
Thank you.
Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you too.
She has her own job, and she is such a skinflint. Like, I love the fact she's that frugal, but she does not want to spend her own money. She's like, yeah, but it's going to be like $40. And I'm like, well, use your card. You have an account and a job. Pay her back. I say I'm going to pay her back. Probably not going to. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Can I bring out the amphibian again? Absolutely. This is the amphibian Ben Kern. This thing's great. Absolutely amazing. I can't think of a time. I've made 2 knife purchases. I hadn't bought knives for a very long time. I made 2 well, technically 3, but one of them I didn't. There was no money involved because, like I said, my buddy let me use points, and that was for this Taipan. Wow. This knife I purchased, never had a regret. Absolutely one of the best knives I've ever bought. It literally is up there. It's literally up there with this $1,000 knife in talking about quality. This thing's incredible. The only other knife that I've ever purchased that I was this happy with, besides getting exactly what I wanted in the Norseman, is this one. And you can see they're very similar. They're both 9.5 inches overall. They've got the same sweep to them. They absolutely are very similar. And I love them. I love them. They are amazing how good this is. If you don't pick one of these up, you are missing out. This is the best Microtech ever made. Which one do I like more? This is my knife of the year. This is my knife of the year. There are 100 of you here, and you should drop a like if you're here. Double tap the screen. Absolutely. If you guys are trying to find out what happened, you're going to have to go back to the very beginning, because I'm not going to get into the whole how I got a channel strike from using music that YouTube let me have. This is my knife of the year. This is the knife of the year 2024. I've had it for a while now. I've had it since like April. So first quarter, I already had my knife of the year. I don't think anything's going to come in that's going to change that. This is incredible. So how much did I pay for the Spyder Co? I want to say $260, $250. I don't remember. But this is the Crewwear and micarta version of the military too. So if you're interested in any of the knives that I've got here, most of them are, no, it wasn't that. It was a copyright strike, like Pinto Beans. It was not. This is because I'm not doing anything dangerous or harmful. I don't even cut anything in my videos. It's just tabletop reviews. I can't remember what I bought this for, but it was worth every penny. They have it on sale at Blade HQ. I have a link down below, Blade HQ. Just look up the Military 2 in Crew Wear and micarta. The Crew Carta is probably the best. If they don't have it there, Knives Ship Free, I also have a link down below for them. Knives Ship Free has this on their GP Knives as well. Any of my affiliates down there should have this knife. The Military 2 is the best knife that Spyderco makes. It's not my favorite knife that Spyderco makes. That's the police model, but this is incredible. Let's see here. Take that down. There we go. Sorry guys, I'm doing channel management stuff. So yeah, it's great. The Spyderco is, but this absolute knife of the year. It's the comfort, how good they did on their milling the titanium or the aluminum, the lock that's on it, just the way it sounds. Listen to it. Woo! Awesome, awesome knife. Good tolerances. This is the best knife that Microtech made. I am friends with Tony Marfione over at Microtech. It doesn't affect like the review process. I told him specifically this is the best knife they've made. The Stitch was my favorite, and I still love the Stitch, the Borka Blade Stitch. I didn't like the ram lock version. I like the frame lock version. But that's a great knife. This is even better. Elijah, I've been in Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I have not. Listen to this. Just sounds great. Lady Ginger, wish I could make friends like that, LO. I was friends with Jason McCoy before I ever met Tony the first time. So I had met Jason and his son, Jake, at knife shows, and then they introduced me to Tony. And Tony's a great dude. I got something in my eye. He is one of those guys that can be polarizing in the knife industry. But all in all, he's just a great dude trying to make a good product for everyone. So I think he's more misunderstood, to tell you the truth. So is Mick Strider. Like, yeah, I got problems with Mick using the stolen valor thing, but Mick is still generally a good dude. And he designed some really good knives. Unfortunately, the best thing he ever did was have someone else make his production knives. They were the best ones ever made. But yeah, you can get really good knives for a decent price. I think these were $100 for this Begleiter XL. You can get some really good stuff now at a very good price. But $302 is what I paid for this. It was on sale. It's 100% American made, and Microtech, I've said this a bunch of times, Microtech's the only company I know that's American made that has not dropped in quality and still is dropping their price. So their quality is better than it was years ago, and their prices went down because the first Microtechs I ever bought were in the $450 range, and this was $302. So basically this knife is about $150 cheaper now than it was, than their knives were back in 2015. It's just insane. They're the only company that's doing that, by the way. Every other American-made knife company's prices are going through the roof. Even Spyderco. Their prices haven't gone through the roof, but their prices they're higher than they used to be. But I get it, prices, everything have went up. The Military is too big. The PM2 is the perfect EDC. So it's basically the same knife shrunk down a little bit. Medford's getting insane. I mean, not just the fact that he's fucking nuts. His prices have gone insane. A lot of companies are really going insane. And it's what's happening is they look at secondary market prices on things and they're like, well, I'm going to charge that. And it's just really insane to look at those prices. Gonna take advantage of OKC going out of business in any way. OKC. Who's OKC? I don't even know what that is. Like Raccoon Sex Dungeon. Nathan. I'm not sure what OKC is. Ontario Knife Company? They went out of business a while ago. Is that who you're talking about? Ontario Knife Company? Yeah, fuck them. I just filmed a video about the 5 worst knives I've ever purchased. And guess what? The Ontario Knives Rat 1 is on that list. I didn't purchase all of them. I shouldn't say that. The Rat is garbage. The Rat is trash. And all these guys are, it's a fucking great knife. You know what you're talking about. I was like, it's a great knife in 1980, maybe. But I can get this knife, which is way better quality, way better in looks, way better materials, way better in hand, for less. Everybody's like, yeah, but it's made in China. I was like, yeah, guess what? The Rat 1's not made in America either. Granted, it's made in Taiwan, but still. It's just, why? Maybe if I wanted some kitchen knives, but guess what? Fair and Forged Knife Works, best kitchen knives hands down that I've ever had come through this house. I've had all kinds of kitchen knives. I know you guys have seen them. I've had all kinds of kitchen knives show up in this house from different companies. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the Fair and Forged Knife Works kitchen knives that they sent for me to use and test, hands down the best kitchen knives I've had come through. Don't get me wrong, the Dahlstrong knives, and I love Dahlstrong. They've sent me a lot of stuff. I worked with them for a while through their affiliate partner program, and they've sent me a bunch of stuff, and they're great knives. But Elliot just captured exactly everything I want in a kitchen knife with his kitchen knife design. So if you haven't checked those out, coupon code crazysharp over at Fair and Forged Knife Works. Check out their kitchen knife. I think they have a buy one, get one free sale going on right now. So I'm about all talked out, guys. I don't know about you, but it's been a busy day for me. I need to check them out. I've got a cheapo Pioneer woman set at home. Let me go grab the set, because what you can get right now is you can get the full set that I have for the price of just the big kitchen knife. So right now what they're doing is, where's the little one? Okay. I don't know how well that works out of line of sight, but I don't think we've lost any audio. So I do like an old hickory. I have a couple old hickories. This is the Fair and Forged Knife Works Santoku that they made. They're super thin. I have not had to sharpen this. It just stays sharp. But I mean, it's kind of flashy. It's VG10 core. I do know how to flint knap. I haven't done it in a long time, but I do know how to flint knap with an antler and a leather mat and all that stuff. But I have not done it in a very, very long time. Growing up in the middle of nowhere, we had Pioneer days and learned how to do all that stuff. But I also grew up in an area where things like that, kids always learned it. So the Rat is an okay knife. It definitely has not stood the test of time. So this is their full size. So if you buy this right now, you get this one for free, which is the Utility Token, which is their version of a paring knife. This is also really good. And if you get the full set, you get you get the full size one, and then you get the mini one for free. It's a BOGO. Buy one, get this one. So you can get the full set for the price of just the small one. Yeah, we learned to flint knap. There was a lot of stuff. Plus, Boy Scouts, just doing stuff outdoors. Also know how to build a musket. muzzle loaders. So, you know, built them, hunted with them, and know how to load them, how to use them. We used to cast our own lead bullets, all that stuff growing up. Did all those things that, like, I hear kids like, oh yeah, when I was growing up, all I did was play video games. And I was like, I was learning how to hunt rabbits with a bow and arrow when I was 7. That's just the difference in growing up. As I like to say, I grew up in a town of 124 people, and I lived outside of said bustling metropolis. Best thing about the Rat was designed to lock harder versus fail with the liner. You can tell me all the things you want about the Rat 1. I still think it's a piece of crap. Oh, hey. All right, guys, I have to end this. My wife is home. I don't want to have to hear her complain about all this. So I'm going to end this. Guys, I love you all. Take it easy. Thanks for joining. If you're curious about what happened, go back to the beginning of the video. I will see you guys next time. I got to get this cleaned up and get out of my wife's way and help her out getting stuff out of the car. So I love you all. Take it easy. Check out the video that went up on Sunday. There'll be a video going up tomorrow. I'll see you guys next time.